Listen, this movie has the record for the lowest box office opening day in history. Like, can you imagine if this was your first feature film, right? You're so excited because you have young talent. You got a $15 million budget to work on this thing. And then you get super stoked because you just landed one of the most prestigious actors.
Netflix announcing the end of House of Cards and Spacey also losing an award. Isn't that right?
That's right, Robin. We all know Kevin Spacey has been one of the most praised actors in Hollywood. But this morning, he is now facing a storm of criticism on social media and beyond.
Like, you know it's bad when the made-for-TV movie from the 80s, what this is remaking, made more money. Let me explain. So this is actually based off of a true story of these guys who were running a Ponzi scheme in the 80s, and while I know that just saying the phrase white privilege ironically triggers the people who make fun of other people for getting triggered, that's actually what they're selling.
Each investor will ask, what is the BBC? Are we a holding company? Are we an investment pool? Are we a social club? All of the above.
They're able to convince these spoiled rich kids to invest in them by telling them that they can be their own men who don't have to rely on their daddy's money. So they invest their daddy's money. Problem is that they're investing in gold, which at this point in time is just tanking, but they just lie in order to get more funding for...
What's the BBC?
It's the name of our company.
What does it stand for?
Well, it's supposed to stand for Billionaire's Boys Club, but the other meaning is what these dudes are getting rammed with. They go to seek help from an advisor and, oh man.
You see, I knew it the moment I saw you, Joe. You're a hustler, just like me.
The irony. In fact, while I let some quotes slide, this dude ends up giving me an entire montage of stuff that makes me believe that Spacey himself saw the movie and saw everything his character was saying, and he was the reason why this movie was buried.
Because when I go in, I go all in. I mean, it was unethical and corrupt. Immoral, if you believe in that sort of thing. But it wasn't illegal. Sometimes the truth is the best lie.
So by shifting your perspective, you can justify anything.
Justify, that implies right and wrong. But if you reconcile your perspective, then right and wrong become relative.
Obviously, these kids continue scamming people over and they're getting rich off of it until Spacey screws them over. I didn't see that coming. Or him. Turns out that Spacey was still in his soze bag, and he actually fake invested in them in order to play them later on while they were getting rich. And these guys end up becoming so desperate because now they have no money that they fake a kidnapping with the help of even Buffer Chappelle when...
Why don't you tell this ape to get his fucking... What the fuck, Tim?
Now, if it wasn't for the fact that this was a true story, I would have just thought that these guys were trying way too hard to be a copycat of Wolf of Wall Street, but they were actually this insane in real life because this is a true story. They eventually try smuggling a dude before also killing him. They still keep taking money from people who are taking out second mortgages. They get into so much debt that, of course, they figure that the best escape plan is drugs.
We have to turn ourselves in.
What, are you high?
I can't say that this movie was the biggest dookie of the year, right? Like, it's not great, but it definitely would have been better if it was a story told through a miniseries like American Crime on FX or something. I mean, the characters aren't likable. Movie clearly wants to be Wall Street and Goodfellas at the same time. And then by the end of it, right, when they finally do get caught, when the hammer of justice is supposed to come down, they just rush through the whole court case and explain through text how one of them was able to escape it all. So, y'all just gonna leave the best part of the story as ending text? Thank you guys for checking out this video. I'm curious to know your thoughts. Obviously, you didn't see this movie, so I don't even think I'm going to ask you for your thoughts. This movie was shot in 2015, and like I said, the best part of it, which I think would have been a court case, if this was a miniseries, if these guys even deserve to get their own story on it, they just save it for text at the end. Yeah, I'm curious to know your thoughts on this predicament. Do you still watch Kevin Spacey movies? Or people, you know, who are in this scenario, do you still think that they're good? Are you guarding their ability to still make these movies? Do you think he can be redeemed? Very deep questions for here on Let Me Explain, but I'll let you explain. Other than that, don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll let you invest in LME stock.